Hello. So I'm gonna be showing some things off today that I literally can't show off in person. If I did, my little laptop that I would have would just kind of explode and kill everyone in the room. We're not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do everything on like my big personal computer at home. Just to preface this, I'm gonna be doing just a tiny bit before I actually get to the link part of this presentation. So bear with me for a little bit. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make us a little guide to start off with. Okay, so this is Trent. This is a vision I have in my head for this little guy, and this is what we're going to be making today. All right, so here I have my base. I have a little head and a little body. We're going to give this little guy a mouth. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that doesn't look so good. So you may be sitting there thinking to yourself, this looks really bad. This is just part of the process. Sadly, anything you make in 3D is just going to look really bad for like the first hour. Oh, there you go. Look at my little guy. Oh, he's looking good. Oh, this dude sucks. So I'm just gonna give him a bit, make his eyes dark for a second, and I'm gonna make him like a little animal, to where you can't see the whites of his eyes, because he's not a person, he's more like a creature. All right, so for the rest of this, I'm just gonna kind of speed it up. We spent a little too much time already. We're just gonna cut back to when he's finished. Okay, everybody, we have our little man. Say hello to Trent. Yeah, all right. All right, so we got our little guy in the program. It looks good and all, but the issue is that it's a little boring. I have a lot of ideas for what I want to do with this. Or I want to put him in a room filled with like cool things, right? So the first step in doing that is to give him like a proper floor to stand on instead of this like weird white plane. So I want to texture that, and so what I could do is I could bring it into an external program called Substance Painter or another texturing program, and then what I could do is I could take that and then re-import it back to Blender, but that would take like probably 30 minutes plus, and honest to God, it would be a bit of a hassle. So instead, I'm going to go over to a website called Polyhaven. Now, Polyhaven is sort of just like a collection of a bunch of different assets for 3D, textures, models, HDRIs, that you can use for free, which is important because I'm broke. All right, so I'm in Polyhaven right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on the Browse Textures button, and I'm looking for something specific. I want him to be standing on like sort of just like a wooden floor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the search button. I'm gonna type in wood. And you can see we have a few options. In fact, we literally just have one that says wood floor. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and use that. I'm going to click the download button, and it's going to start downloading right in the top corner right there. So you can see right up here, they have different presets for the tile sizes you want to download. I'm downloading an 8K texture. I think for the most part, if you were to do this on your own, anything over 2K is okay. I always just download the biggest just because my computer can kind of handle it. Okay, so back in Blender here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start setting up the texture. So first I'm going to select my object, and then I'm going to hit Control-Shift-T. And what you can see right here is all the different images that are going to make up the one texture. So I'm going to go ahead and load this in real quick. And oh my God, would you look at that? My little man is so happy. He's standing on a little floor now. This is incredible. So there's a few different things we can do here. As you can see, he's kind of standing on a little bit of a small floor. I want the floor to be a little bit bigger, so I'm going to go ahead and hit S, scale that. That looks great, and all he's standing on a bigger floor, but as you can see, as I scale the model, it sort of scales the texture as well, so I kind of don't want that to happen. So what I can do here is, and this is kind of the beauty of this, is you can edit these textures. So if I come down here to the texture node mapping area, what I can do is I can just click the scale icon, and I can just sort of drag it. So you kind of just want to play around with it. I think right there is good. So that's pretty cool. Let's say I want the floor to be maybe a little bit darker, right? But the issue is that if I look at the image for this texture, you can see that there's not really any great way to edit it manually. I can sort of drag, right? That wouldn't be great. So what I can do instead is I can edit the brightness and contrast value of this texture specifically. So if I come in here and let's say I want the floor to be darker, I can just kind of bump it down ever so slightly. That's a bit too harsh, so we're going to divide that in half. All right, so see, we made the floor a lot darker, and we're going to do a little comparison. As you can see, you're able to edit the texture values directly in Blender. And we can do this for other attributes too. Like if I wanted to make this floor a lot more glossy, what I can do is I can put a color ramp node, and I can drag it. When I drag that little value, it looks like the floor has a nice like layer of shellac on it. It looks kind of gross actually with him standing on it, so we don't want that. So I'm gonna get rid of that. All right, so I worked ahead a little bit and I gave our little Trent character some walls to live in. And real quick, I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly model just a super simple little couch, and I'm gonna put some textures on it. All right, so as you can see, we now have a little couch for our little guy to sit on. Now, as you've probably noticed, that took me around 7 to 8 minutes to make. Now, in terms of 3D, yeah, that's a little quick, but it still eats up a lot of your time. You kind of want to be able to finish these things quickly if you have a lot of stuff to do. All right, so we're going to try something a little different. I'm going to go into Polyhaven and I'm going to download something, and we're going to see how quick this takes comparatively. All right, so as we see, that was a lot quicker. That was like 7 minutes compared to like what, maybe a minute and a half, just going to the website, downloading it, and kind of essentially just dragging and dropping it into the program. Yeah, so that does save a little bit of time. All right, so here's the thing. Yes, you are kind of dragging and dropping a pre-made asset into a scene. Is this as cool as making something on your own? No, not really, but as a 3D artist, it is kind of up to you to manage your time. Yes, you could sit there and you could make everything you want custom and it'll look great. It'll look really cool. And if you have the time to do that, you should. But that's gonna take like 9 years to do. You're gonna come out the other end looking like this. It is super nice just to have the availability to go somewhere and just take something and drag it and drop it into a scene. All right, I'm gonna get off my soapbox for a little bit and we're gonna get back into the scene. I'm gonna do something really quick just to show off more of what Polyhaven can do. As you can see, our little guy is stuck inside, and I think he's been stuck inside for too long. It's starting to take a little bit of a toll on him. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make another environment for my little guy to be happy in, because he really needs to go outside. All right, as you can see, he's finally outside. Look how happy this guy is. He's like fucking beaming. So as you can see right here, all of these assets, I mean, they're also from Polyhaven. They're all free to use, and I was able to make something like this. This took me around, I want to say, an hour to put it together, but it was just kind of like a small showcase of like, hey, you can do this too. Our little boy Trent is outside and he's looking so goddamn happy. All right, so there's going to be a link to Polyhaven in the description of this video that you can go ahead and check out right there. And as far as that goes, that's pretty much it. So, bye.